I turned 30 on January 31st, and I was of the era of coming home in junior high to dial-up internet that would go "Ring." I should preface this with, for some reason, I'm super nervous. It has been about a month since I made a video, so if I seem nervous, that's why. It's because I'm nervous. My name is Robin Sealark, and I'm an artist here on YouTube. I felt the need to discuss that I don't know how I feel about social media and what it's been like growing up with the internet. I'm going to be pulling from anecdotal personal experience, conversation that I had with some of my patrons on patreon.com/RobinSealark and on my Instagram where I sourced for feedback. I am at Robin Sealark across social media if you ever want to find me. Weird time to promo in a video such as this. I hope that if this sparks thoughts for you, you'll continue the discussion in the comments. Last minute business, I wanted to plug that my book, Oil Painting Every Day, a step-by-step beginner's guide to painting the world around you, releases March 22nd. If you pre-order, it helps me a ton. You could get a chance to win a painting. You'll also get a bonus booklet, and you can do all that in the link in my description. If you could like the video, and if you're interested in subscribing, that also helps me. Thanks. I turned 30 on January 31st. I was of the era coming home in junior high to dial-up internet. And then I would go onto AOL Instant Messaging, AIM, and talk quick chat with my friends online. And that was how I was introduced to the internet. And it's changed so much since then. This whole new kind of virtual space, sometimes it's really positive for me and has helped me tremendously. It's also worn on me in ways, and I'm curious, how does social media and the internet affect artists and us generally? This subject's on my mind for a few different reasons. For those who are creatives or artists and have seen it, the artist YouTuber Jazza did a video recently on the other artist YouTuber ZHC. And in that two-part series, there's a lot of discussion and questioning about topics like social media, influence, and artist authenticity. And the other thing that's been sparking off thoughts is last September, I decided to drive and move across country to go live with family and figure out what I'm personally doing with my career and my art and social media. The way this conversation started out with my patrons, one of them, a new on-the-scene artist looking for motion graphics work, if you're interested, and she's linked in the description. Abby was talking about finding fulfillment in your artwork, the work you do as a working artist, and balancing personal enjoyment from creativity with skills you are able to market. She was running up against some frustrations with a sense of comparison online, and she felt like it was keeping her from being able to engage with making in a way that made her happy. Kind of in response to Abby's thoughts, we had a conversation between mainly a few different players, and I thought they brought up some really interesting points that I wanted to discuss. Steven Tannenbaum is one of my patrons, and he brought up a lot of discussion about the like button. He was bringing up a lot about the problem of whether we equate likes with things that are meaningful. So how closely related is a like on a social post, an artwork that you make, to whether that artwork that you made is meaningful or impactful outside of social media or outside of the algorithm. Will likes and algorithms on social media promote certain types of posts, determining how many likes it gets? And as artists, if we're watching for our social engagement, likes and comments on social media, then how might that disconnect us from making deeper work or meaningful work? And this kind of brings up the conversation of the 2021 Facebook paper leak. So for those of you who don't know, someone internal to Facebook, or now called Meta, the company, she released information that showed the company had internal awareness of negative effects their social platform, Facebook, might be having on general population's well-being. Part of that is the question of what the algorithm promotes clicks on. Something might get a lot of attention just because it causes a big stir or grabs people's attention. Stephen brought up some good questions about how might what we see online in social engagement stray from reflecting general desirable or valuable human behavior? Could the algorithm promote hurtful things for clicks? What do people want to click on? See? What do people get emotionally charged about? Does that system of receiving attention elevate things that are attention grabbing but possibly negative, or farther away than we want them to be from our physical social values? How tied is the link between a like and something's popularity or quality? Something that we all talked about, a thing that affects our personal feelings, is the way likes and social engagement can cause feelings of self-comparison and self-doubt about what you're doing. I thought Stephen Tannenbaum said something very interesting. If you're looking at and making these comparisons, he knows he needs to take a break from social media when he feels a creeping feeling of envy or thinking that he's not doing enough. And also getting into a place of forgetting that life is likable and meaningful to you, even if it's not being validated on the internet, or even if you're seeing other people's lives being validated on the internet that aren't yours. Another one of my patrons in that conversation is Andrew Jacob Reinhardt, and he was talking about how algorithm filters create a rose-colored sheen to what our perception of other people's reality is, and how we don't leave in the code anymore or show the seams. Off of that thought, Stephen said there is something to leaving in history and not just having photorealism in your art, but taking away some of those things that social media adds to the way we're engaging. Instead of it seeming perfect, are we getting away from the balance of history and the hard work that goes into images we're presented with? On Instagram, I got comments I thought were really good. Mara Donahue talked about a struggle with being authentic and relatable in marketing. Also, feelings of embarrassment and failure that can come when you have to put yourself or your business out there socially in front of others, and how that can lead to distracting view obsession and be really painful when you get audience silence in reaction to what you share and your hard work. Nicole Johnson Art said that the algorithm can kill creativity because it can encourage burnout, which I thought was super interesting, because something that is hard about being online is oftentimes algorithms on social media are programmed in such a way to reward very active posting behavior, but that might not be compatible with your lifestyle, hence it can ask more than you can give. Talia Art said self-comparison trap is a big thing, that social media has a lack of individualism and fully embraces a boost of lack of individualism, and trends can kill originality. And I do wonder if there's some amount of truth to that, in that you might observe the algorithm promoting certain things that are trending, and it might change what you want to make or think you have to make. Sam Melke said there's a balancing act of individuality and pleasing followers. And a major note that a lot of people said, on a positive note, was that it also feeds their inspiration because of how much they're consuming, adding to their inspiration well. So This is a lot of information. I've been trying to process it and question, how do I feel about social media and what am I doing with my career? My career in art have been very social media based for the last 6 years, and I've had a very up and down relationship with that. There are ways that it personally wears on me. I do get burnt out. Sometimes I feel I can work the same amount and make okay to good money, and sometimes I feel like that same amount of work can leave me having a hard time taking care of myself. That is really difficult to work with sometimes. I've been reevaluating, how much do I want to rely on my social media engagement to pay my bills? Is there a way that I could be balancing my career differently so that I have more consistency? Some of the questions I have, I'll just read. How much am I balancing what's likable or engaging online with what is developing my career, personal fulfillment, and artwork? I like social media, but can it be competitive in a way that's not always rewarding of things I personally care about? How do you balance what makes you happy and puts food on the table? What are the motives in the work I do, and how can I define the difference between the work I do for pay as an artist and for passion? I've watched myself navigate my relationship with internet and social media, this whole new kind of virtual space. It feels like a social experiment in an evolving way over the years. Sometimes it's really positive for me and has helped me tremendously. I've had a lot of beneficial things come to my ability to be an artist, make money, and connect with other people through internet and social media, and that is super valuable. It's also worn on me in ways, and I question, are we at a place where we're keeping tabs on and navigating our relationship with it in a way that we're in control of and balancing with a physical space of existence? Does that make sense? I moved out to New York to start thinking about how I might make my income feel more stable. I started applying to different things. I guess I'm exposing myself if I don't get in. It would be awesome if I could get in, but I might not. I am thinking about re-upping my professional development hours to teach again. I'm also thinking about some business ventures. So I have been thinking a lot more about my art, the way I engage with it, the time I spend online, my connections with people, and really what makes me happiest. I don't have answers about how I feel about social media, but I do think that it's important for me to be asking the questions. And since I started asking the questions and making plans for myself, the empowerment of that is making me feel really good. So I hope that if social media and the internet are bumming you out, that this could help you start figuring some of that out. I'm curious what you think, so please leave comments and join the discussion. You can follow me on social media or join my monthly art challenges on Patreon. If you look up Robin Sealark on Patreon, consider subscribing. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.